Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. I'm here with the coach, John Brett.
And I'm here with the vet, in Griffin.
Yeah, so hey, today we're going to talk about something that I really got a problem with, and that's people celebrating people getting shot. And where's the humanity in that? And we're going to more talk about the situation about the two police officers that were shot in Compton. I know you're aware of it, Coach. And
Sure.
There's a video out there in regards. The individual sure isn't too tall because he couldn't even clear the top of the officer's vehicle, so he's got to be about 5'1" or less anyway. And but at point blank range, he just walks up and shoots one officer who's a mom around 30 years old. I think she has a 6-year-old kid.
Sure.
Shot her through the jaw, and then shot the other one across the forehead. And then after that happened, the female, the 30-year-old officer, the other one's only like 24, I believe. She rendered first aid while she had to call in with her jaw not functioning properly. I even heard the verbiage. I even heard it. It was very gargled. And amazingly, she maintained complete composure through all that.
Amazing.
And I just think that there's some whole lot of implications here. But the first thing I got in is, where's the humanity? These are people who are doing their job. Basically attempted assassination on them. And
That's exactly what I call
it. And we have people that go to the ER after they're there while they're in surgery, celebrating and wishing them to die, then taunting the police forces there, say, hey, drop your weapons so we can fight you like men,
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, Coach?
My thoughts first is it's horrific. When I first saw the video, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I shouldn't be too surprised with the climate that we're dealing with right now in politics and even in our country. But I was just horrified at the person running up and shooting them. But I think I was more horrified at what happened afterwards. There was no protesting about that. There was no... I don't even think that some of the politicians that are involved in the elections coming up have even made statements this time. Some, or maybe they did, or maybe it was later. But I heard one of the politicians, and I don't even know if we want to get into the politics part of it, saying that one of the gentlemen that was shot, I want to say it was in Wisconsin, Blake.
Yes.
That he was considered, that she was proud of him. Now, proud of him for what, we don't know.
Right.
But she did not make a statement once about being proud of these officers for doing their job and being shot for just doing nothing more than being a police officer. Police officers are under attack across the country right now. And there's a lot of people on, and I hate to say it, that's on the left, that are defunding police, against police officers, all police are bad. There's this narrative, and what do you expect? This is what's going to come from it. Well, officers are being attempted to be assassinated sitting in a vehicle.
Yeah, so I'll address that because I'm sitting here going, first of all, the president, he came out and he said flat out, if they die, referring to the police officers, fast trial death penalty for the killer. That's
What's
what
wrong with that?
I don't see nothing wrong with that. Vice President Biden came out and said, weapons of war have no place in our communities. We need to ban assault weapons and high capacity magazines.
What is he talking about?
The police officers were shot with a pistol.
And we can see it on the video.
And I'm sitting here going, what the flip? Now, from my understanding, he came back and made another comment later.
Because he was told.
After he was told. But my gosh. And then in reference to the Senator Kamala Harris, who went to see Blake, I'm sorry, California is her state. That is her people, no matter what.
And that's where the officers were shot, for some of you that are not knowing.
Yes, the officers were shot in Compton.
Right.
Those are hers. And she hasn't even gone there. I forgot, because California won't be contested, so it's not an issue to her, apparently, that people, law-abiding citizens, were just shot or trying to be assassinated.
I hadn't even thought about this now, but you remember this, there was a church shooting here in Texas a couple years ago, and Ted Cruz jumped on a plane and came home straight down here and got on the street, because that's his people.
Yes.
And I'm not a huge Ted Cruz fan. I do like some of the things that he's done, but I'm saying that's what you do. Those are your people.
Yeah, you got to go to your people. I mean, I understand you're bidding for election, you're bidding for election, and all those things, but you have to go to your people. And then to add another caveat on it, we had the outrage of people out there protesting while they're doing surgery, which is insane. But then the Sheriff Villanueva, and I just think I throw this on there as extra sauce. They raised, at the time, it was $100,000 that the police force was going to put in to identify the individual, if anybody could turn him in. And then 2 companies raised $75,000 more. And he challenged LeBron James. He says, since you're always concerned about the community, you know, this is the community you kind of play in, is this region right here. So why don't you come on out, you know? Or I just asked the question, are only you concerned with certain parts of the community? Is that what you're really trying to say?
It really upset me because an LA Laker, Compton,
Yes.
LA Laker, if something like this happens in your community, you want to talk about unity, you want to talk about something that shouldn't be political. If someone is attempted to be assassinated, this is not somebody running from the police. This is not somebody running from a crime. This is a person sitting in their vehicles, doing their job, and a person walks up and shoots them. There should have been not only a reward offered by somebody in the NBA or somebody close there with the Lakers.
Somebody from Hollywood.
Anybody from Hollywood.
Where's Hollywood at?
Yeah, Hollywood will scream and shout when it comes to injustices that they say.
They'll fund a bail for somebody, though.
Absolutely.
A rider's bail they'll fund, for sure.
But when protesters are at the entrance blocking the hospital saying, we hope they die, there's a moral problem in this country. People are going to blame it on Trump. This didn't start 3.5 years ago, this mess. This is inside the heart of people. This is a parenting issue. This is a societal issue. This is where we are right now, and I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't like it at all.
I'll say this is, you know what is, I do not agree with any of this where somebody wishes somebody to die. Even us as soldiers on the battlefield, when you shoot the enemy, you know, the enemy is incapacitated. After we've secured our mission, we render first aid.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. You know, and that is the enemy.
This is
His
hatred.
only job is to kill us,
Yeah.
and our job is to kill them. And I'm like, this is America, and this is the hatred we have. And somebody will come on and say, well, I'm getting tired of you. I've heard somebody tell me once that I'm getting tired of you using the word hatred. Well, go look it up in the dictionary, because you need to know what it says, because that's exactly what it is when you can't get past all that.
Well, I'm sure I'll never get to address someone like LeBron James, but this is the moment that you can tell that there's a problem in the country with our athletes being the people that we look up to. Yeah. If this would have been 2 officers stepping out of that vehicle, and that person would have had a toy gun and pointed it at those officers, and they would have shot, because to me it looks like a kid.
Yep.
He shoots the kid dead. I guarantee you LeBron James would have released a statement that afternoon saying something about more unarmed black people killed. This is police officers that protect you, protect our community, protect that stadium or the arena that you play in. This is the most unbelievable thing I've seen, that you can't even stand up for that. But you get your mouth into everything else, but you can't get in a cold-blooded assassination attempt.
And this is the deal. It was a win-win if he would have just come out and said anything.
No doubt.
I do not know why Vice President Biden and Kamala Harris couldn't just come out and say, hey, whoever did this needs to go to jail.
Turn yourself in.
Turn themselves in. They need to burn in hell, whatever it may be, if they would have just come out and said something like that.
Vet, what do you think the reason they didn't? It's just your opinion.
My personal opinion, the reason why they didn't is because they know that would go against the narrative that the far left is pushing in reference to the police.
All cops are bad. They deserve it.
They cannot sit there and they cannot acknowledge when somebody is just doing their job wearing the badge.
Sure.
Right now. Now, maybe after the election time they can, but right now they just can't, because they feel, they don't mean it's true, but they feel it's political suicide. And it's a shame, because I was always taught that you don't worry about the outcome of things like elections and report cards. You just give your best in everything. And that's all they had to do, was give their best. And they would have probably won some conservative voters that they needed over more than anything else by doing that.
Unbelievable.
Anyway.
I'm almost speechless at a point. I shouldn't be shocked because of what's been going on the last few years, but this shocked me.
Yeah.
In other words, it not only did it shock me, it pissed me off that there's people. Look, when someone's shot, if you're against the police, or if you think of a narrative that's going on, that's one thing. But the humanity of, let these people do their job to save them. If there's something that they were doing that you thought that they deserved it, let there be an investigation. But you just want people to die just because they have a badge.
No.
Or because they're white.
Yeah.
Or because they're black. Or because they're something. then your identity politics that you're playing, their identity narrative of hate that you're playing, let's just call it what it is, it's pure hatred. If that's who you are, the problem isn't those people. The problem is right here in you.
Right. It's the
and that's the
person in
problem.
there.
And somebody needs to get a hold of this.
I agree. It's a shame. Well,
It's Trump's fault.
yeah, well, that's exactly what will be said.
Absolutely.
Although we've always had peace and quiet in L.A., we know that.
Yeah, sure.
Because we
Had no
remember,
riots.
Because we remember when George H. Bush had the highest popularity poll there was at the time coming out of Desert Storm, that conveniently there were some riots there.
Sure, and there was riots in the 60s there. It's
So-
what happens when people are unhappy about things, and we understand that. Protesting is one thing. It's a constitutional right that you have in the First Amendment, but it says peacefully protest for a reason. Once you go past burning, looting, tearing something up, you're a criminal.
Or I'll just say this: if you're out there assassinating people, or
You're a
trying-
criminal.
You are a criminal and needs to go away for.
There's no you, and I don't want people saying, "Well, they're criminals, but they wouldn't be doing it." Yeah, you're still a criminal.
There's no justification for what
No
happened.
but.
And I honestly think this: the people that block the ER area and things of that nature should be accessory to a crime.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, but they should. Anyway,
Sure.
so that's there's not much more on that right now, and I hope everybody comes out.
Well, we're hoping and we're praying for those two people. I mean, those are heroes. To me, police officers are heroes. We had a segment earlier. There's almost 700,000 police officers in the United
Yeah.
States. There's 10 of them that do something bad that we know of each year, that unarmed shooting, as we call it.
Yeah.
Let's say there's 100 of them. Let's say there's 200 of them.
Yeah.
That's 685,800 great American heroes protecting us from criminals. Thank you, and we salute you.
I agree. Yep, my hat's off to you guys. Don't look at all the hair. Anyway, so hey, we want you to stay tuned to us as you stay tuned to Society from the coach.
And from the vet.
Hey, stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned.